Doctors are questioning whether big tech companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Google share the blame for an alarming rise in unvaccinated kids. The percentage of young children who have not received any vaccinations has quadrupled since 2001. Now, this coincides with hundreds of cases of measles reported here in this country. Public health experts worry that parents are opting out of vaccines after finding faulty science online. Tony DeCopel shows us the steps that tech companies say they're taking to fight misinformation. Guess what? Tony DeCopel joins us at the table. Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, and good morning to all of you. I want to be completely clear about something, and that's this. Every major medical body and federal office agrees vaccines are safe and effective, full stop. But that's often not the message you get if you're a parent poking around online. Amazon, Facebook, and Google now all seem to be trying to fix that, but it raises a question. Where is the line between protecting a community and censoring it?
In my view, everything in science can be questioned.
This dish full of disease-producing...
The Greater Good is a documentary challenging the scientific consensus that vaccines are safe. And while it includes some mainstream scientists,
is there an epidemic of autism? I think the answer to that question is probably no.
It's one of at least 5 films that Amazon apparently pulled from its popular streaming video service after being contacted by Congressman Adam Schiff.
They did take steps to de-emphasize the misinformation.
It made them harder to find and harder to get.
Yes, and you know, maybe that's the right balance.
Amazon declined to comment or even confirm the move, but it came hours after Schiff sent an open letter calling on the company to stop surfacing and recommending content that discourages parents from vaccinating their children.
What makes you comfortable having these tech companies decide what should rise and what should be suppressed? It's a big responsibility.
It is. I can't say that I am all that comfortable with that idea, but I think here, where you're talking about an immediate threat to public health, where you're talking about a very strong scientific consensus, I think that cuts in favor of the exercise of social responsibility.
We're slipping ever closer to tyranny, and these tech giants are the ones who are really driving the bus.
Leslie Manukian, a producer behind The Greater Good, says the film had been viewed more than 10 million times, mostly online, where she claims companies have now adjusted their algorithms to reduce the movie's visibility.
We have not heard a word from Amazon. We've never heard a word from Facebook, never heard a word from YouTube, never heard a word from Google or any of these giant tech companies who are systematically censoring us.
The American Academy of Pediatrics sent letters to some of the largest tech companies asking Silicon Valley to confront what it calls the spread of vaccine misinformation online.
It's about best interest.
Dr. Wendy Sue Swanson is a pediatrician and spokesperson for the AAP. She says misinformation is crowding out real science on vaccines, endangering public health.
This feels like a watershed moment. This feels like a time where everybody's raising their hands and saying, wait a second, it matters what information is served up to me, and I want to understand it more.
Facebook has pledged to reduce the ranking of pages that spread misinformation about vaccines. Google says it's reducing recommendations of content that can misinform users in harmful ways. And Pinterest stopped serving results for searches related to vaccines.
I don't think it's the government's role to say, you can't publish this content. There is a First Amendment right to say whatever you will.
But then why try to discourage tech companies from offering this free speech?
Because we are forced to deal with the problem it creates, and that is public health crises, because other people suffer as a result.
Where's the line between your free speech rights and public health overall?
Well, listen, if I want to say that climbing to the top of a mountain causes cancer, that should be my right. It's lunacy to say that I shouldn't be able to say that.
Of course, the question is, should it be on Amazon? It's not just films, by the way. Amazon has apparently also removed several books related to vaccines. In a statement to CBS, the company says it is mindful of a global history fraught with book censorship, and it does not take these moves lightly.
Leslie's right. She has the right to say what she believes. The question is whether there's a corporate responsibility by big tech companies, Amazon, Facebook, and Google, to give her a megaphone to publish what is unfactual information.
Well, we can go outside and say what we want, but is the digital public square now controlled by these big tech companies? Should we also have a right to that digital public square? That's a question, too.
And this is a problem we're seeing around the world. You know, Russian trolls and bots are being accused of spreading misinformation about vaccines. vaccines as well, and many European governments are dealing with this very issue just like we are right now.
It's a big milestone for tech companies because they've had policies on nudity, on harassment, on violence. Now a policy emerges on truthfulness.
Yeah, but you make a good point that there is foreign influence behind the spreading of a lot of this information, misinformation.
That we're used to, unfortunately, at this point. Tony, thank you. This is definitely a talker.